Hello?
I got some fucking Dove men's soap for you, too.
Okay.
Get some of that men's soap on your body. Because you smell like shit, too. And you're a man.
I'm not. I'm not.
Well, hello SMG, and welcome on this lovely Easter evening. Sunday, the Easter evening. You have to excuse me, I'm not totally prepared for this. I kind of started the video a little bit too early. So for starters, this will be the last week that I don't use the paper. I know how important that is to you guys. Gotta have the fucking yellow legal pad. Listen, I was at Walmart last night. I was very excited because I've gotten back into sports cards because Bloomberg ain't on. We were talking on Steam and he mentioned how he's into sports cards again, and I'm like, you know what? I used to go heavy with sports cards. See, I got my binder here of my sports cards. Or as some call them, Boomer NFTs. Now, before I go any deep, well, let me finish my story first. No, before I go any deeper, you're going to notice I am drinking a Bud Light. I'm going to get a lot of blowback for this, but allow me to elaborate why I'm drinking a Bud Light. So after Easter dinner, you know, the whole family's there. We got together, ate, had fun, drank. I went to the gas station to pick up beer on my way home. Well, this should be pretty jarring. I went to the gas station. I went to go buy Coors. No Coors, also out. I went to go buy Miller, which is piss beer. I fucking hate Miller, but I was going to buy it anyways. No Miller. The only thing they had stocked was Anheuser-Busch products. So I had either to buy an Anheuser-Busch product or I had to not have any beer. So I was between a rock and a hard place here. So I ended up saying, fuck it, I'll buy a tranny beer this one time. So that's why I have Bud Light. So go ahead and make your jokes. But as I was saying, I don't have any legal paper, the yellow legal pads, because I was at Walmart. I was super excited to buy some more another pack of sports cards. The last one I bought was the Bowman Chrome U, which are college football cards. I think it's 7 packs per box. Ran me like $25. And I enjoyed it. You know, let's be honest with ourselves. It's just another form of gambling. So I was going to go buy some at this Walmart, and I went in there and I noticed that the sports card section only existed on the shelving right at the main self-checkout. So there's a line of people there. I can't even get to the sports cards because there's no way. It's too narrow and there's too many people there, which is fucking retarded. So short Walmart, first of all. Why would you put a product like your sports card somewhere where nobody can fucking get to them? I can't get to them. Put them in a fucking section somewhere. Same thing with beef jerky. They don't have a beef jerky section. So I had to settle for these Takis meat sticks, which are delicious, by the way. But they're little tiny packs with like 6 fucking sticks. So it's not enough beef jerky. So I'm pissed about that too. It's a short Walmart. So that's why I don't have the yellow legal pad. I got so pissed off because I was so excited. I was thinking about it all week, but I was going to get another box of cards and fucking enjoy myself. And I couldn't get them because of this bullshit. So that is how this no legal pad transpired. But anyways, where was I? Jesus, I went on a rant there. Anyways, Easter Sunday. If those of you who don't have any immediate family or you're not spending time with family because you either don't have any or you are, living in a different area where you don't live near your parents. I think Scoopsies lives far away from his family. Consider this your Easter dinner with JohnnyFathands. You're spending it with me, right? In this time of year with Easter, you tend to think about what's important. You tend to think about things that you hold close to you, and that where it's a holy holiday. So, for me, it's about the people in SMG, particularly the Lanklet femboys that we have here. You'll notice I'm gonna probably post a picture here of it. The Lanklets are interesting creatures. If you look at this picture of this hand, that hand is literally just a skeleton with flesh-colored saran wrap on it. That's all it is. I mean, it's literally just bone. And it's curious to me because, first of all, somebody with hands like that would make a very cutie trap, for starters. And I also wonder, how the hell does somebody end up this skinny? Are you just not eating? Are you that picky of an eater? You just don't have, I mean, any amount of muscle or fat tissue anywhere on your body? It's just skeleton hands. My cousin is like that too. He looked a little bit healthier this time around. He had put on a slight bit of weight. He's still lanky, but he put on a little bit of weight. He looked healthy, looked good. So I wonder that about you lanklets. What exactly goes on in your life to where you have absolutely no any kind of muscle or anything? It's just bone and skin. But again, you make wonderful traps. I can't state that enough. So, something to consider. Something to consider for a lot of you lanklets is, maybe transitioning is a good idea. Speaking of transitioning, right? Maybe JohnnyFathands is just one giant psyop to get you lanklets to transition. Maybe that's what's really going on. Maybe I'm really a glowy that's trying to get you to transition. Anyways, so let's talk about some of the stocks that made moves this week. We need to talk about Lockheed Martin. I believe that's the name. They had a pretty decent week from what I saw. I think they have new contracts somewhere. I forgot where it was. Contracts for rockets or some shit. Probably a pretty good buy right now because, war is on the rise. So Lockheed would be a good one to buy. They're not cheap. They're not a shitcoin. We're not a penny stock like we're used to. We also saw that CRBP shit the bed. Again, CRBP, Pajit, has been nothing but a scourge lately. I got into an argument, wasted tons of time in an argument with him. He's just the absolute worst. So CRBP, again, it's another Pajit scam. You could just short that whenever you feel like it. We also need to talk about, we need to talk about SkyT as well. SKYT. That was also a very slick Jewish trick that a lot of you got conned into. We thought the CHIPS Act was going to pump SkyT to infinity. Turns out that might not be the case. So, this week in general, we didn't really have a lot of bangers this week. We got to see Boyle, natural gas still getting heamed. The oil princesses are being vindicated because Saudi Arabia has decided, or OPEC I should say, has decided that they're going to cut production of oil because they hate the United States, rightfully so. So you got Saudi Arabia, you have Russia, you have China, you have India. All these countries are joining together now because they're sick of the degeneracy of the West. Again, can't really blame them. Brazil's involved in that too. And they've decided that maybe they're going to shy away from the U.S. dollar as the world currency. And it was during the Easter dinner I realized just how I think out of touch a lot of the normal fags are when it comes to what's going on in the world and the severity of these things. So I think, if I'm being honest, in terms of what the market's going to do next week, I don't really see any scenario where we're going to be green, or blood green rather. I think we're going to see more. Best case scenario, we get crabbing. Worst case scenario, we get Bobo gets to finally come, which could happen. I would warn you, you moo-moos, against such a thing because there's really not a lot of bullish catalysts yet. Especially with, like I said, the news from the Federal Reserve, the news about BRICS, U.S. dollar being abandoned, inflation on the rise. It's hard to say. We're in this weird spot where it really is the kangaroo market. We are where the markets just kind of go boom and then boom and then boom and then just up and down, up and down, up and down, up. There's no there doesn't seem to be a consistent trend in the markets. So it's normally so easy to come and do these videos and just simply say things. I know the trend. I know which direction the markets are going because, as some of you newcomers may not know, but as most of you should know, I myself am considered to be, well, I should say more certified as the best trader in SMG history. In the past, in the present, in the futures, the best trader that ever will be in this general. Which is why I still will tell you guys you need to be buying shares or calls of U1 because of Juneteenth coming up. Calls are still cheap. If you want to play it conservatively and buy shares, but don't miss out on this one, because this is the one that every single year around Juneteenth, the stock gigapumps, but only for a moment. Only for a moment. It'll pump real hard, but you got to get out. You got to get out when the getting's good. So make sure that you do take profits when you're satisfied with the money or the return you're getting. So with that being said, let's go back to Anheuser-Busch. So as I just told you, I'm stuck drinking tranny beer because there are no other beers at the gas station, which is a damning sign. It's showing that people are angry and they are voting with their wallet. They're saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy your stupid product over that hideous monstrosity, and I cannot stress that more, hideous monstrosity that is Dylan Mulvaney. Disgusting creature. I mean, I'm not even going to call it it's a creature. It's disgusting. And I think they have earnings coming up. I want to say it's May 4th. So here's another piece of secret stock advice I'm going to tell you. Actually, I'm going to look up when their earnings are, just so I don't steer you guys wrong, because we're getting an opportunity here that I think is going to be an obvious trade that's going to guarantee you money. So if we look at Anheuser-Busch's stock, their next earnings is, like I said, pre-market on May 4th. It is in the best interest of everyone in this general to buy puts for just after their earnings date. I think that the backlash from what they did is actually going to affect their stock negatively. Now, the question on whether this actually happens or not is how smart or knowledgeable are the actual normal fags? Because for those of you that don't know, Anheuser-Busch owns a ton of beer brands. So it's not just Busch, and it's not just Budweiser. They own all kinds of shit outside of that. They own a larger rate. Now, the smart people, from what I've seen at my local gas station, are realizing that which products they own, because it was all their products. Anything that Anheuser-Busch made, they had in stock. I mean, well in stock, not just like one here, one there. Everything was full. So like I said, I had no choice but to get tranny beer. So again, that's the second plate. You got U1. U1 for Juneteenth. You have puts on Anheuser-Busch you buy them for after May 4th, not too far out, depending on how far you think they're going to fall. But you're going to buy puts on that. I don't really see a scenario where Anheuser-Busch is going to really be able to rebound from this, because if they double down, which their social media platform has been, I guess, dead silent since they did this. If they decide to double down on what they're doing, well, their core customer base, which is not just rednecks, but it's generally it's blue collar straight men is generally who buys Bud Light. The only people that will really dispute this is women. I've had conversations with different women friends that I know, and they're all like, "Oh, who cares? Nobody's gonna care. Trannies drink beer too." No, they don't drink Bud Light. Okay, they don't. They don't drink Bud Light. They don't drink Busch. They don't drink any of that shit. They're drinking fucking Cosmos and shit, gay drinks. So I think that even if they double down, obviously people are going to abandon the brand permanently. Like I'm only drinking it because I have no other choice, which is a good sign when you think about it, because that means everybody else has been buying Coors Light. Everybody else has been buying Miller brands. Normally I drink Keystone, but they don't have that at the one down the street, which is a Coors product. But if I went to the gas station, there was a lot of Bud products missing, that would be a concerning sign that maybe people don't care, but that wasn't what happened. So to reiterate one more time, U1 calls, UONE, calls or shares for Juneteenth. You have Bud, B-U-D, Anheuser-Busch. You buy puts for their pre-market earnings on May 4th, preferably after their earnings, because why would you buy it for May 4th? You don't want to buy it on expiration, get it a little bit after. And I think if you do those two things, it's free money at this point. So now that we got some of the stocks out of the way, I want to go ahead and check and see that my posters that the first person is CRVP Pajit again pissed me off because he's a West Coast city fag, which is one of the worst and one of the absolute worst kinds of people. And he was bitching at me about being a flyover. I live in Michigan, which isn't really a flyover state, because who the fuck flies over Michigan? And he was aggravating me for quite a while. I didn't realize it was him at first, but then I started noticing he was saying things about white people. And that's when it clicked. I was like, oh, nobody seethes more about white people than CRVP Pajit. No, I mean nobody. This guy has a serious problem being Indian. He screams it off a rooftop. He very much wants to be white. He'll never be white. He really wants a white woman. He'll never get a white woman under the age of 60. And that's just kind of the way it is for him. And that's okay, I guess, because, I guess whatever helps his delusion is fine with me. But whatever helps you sleep at night, Pajit. Oh, the next person I want to talk about, and I very much like this, was Waffles the dog. I wish I would have saved a picture of this pup. Waffles the dog is a pretty base dog that when his owner, I don't know who the poster is per se, but when his owner's not there, the dog absolutely tears everything up, absolutely trashes the house, which is based because that is pretty much the dog saying, clean it up, Janny, and he does it for free. So I would like to dedicate, I don't know if Doberman Anon is still around, but Doberman Anon had SMG preferred animals. I have kind of a Hall of Fame of animals. Doberman Anon was one of them. Jam Anon's cats are pretty cool too. I'm not a cat guy, but his cats seem pretty, they're pretty good looking kitties. And then we have Waffles the dog. Waffles the dog, like I said, needs to be another Hall of Fame animal here, simply because the dog is a terror. And I'm a dog man myself, so let's see. Oh God, I forgot this WebM existed. There was there's an Anon that keeps posting this WebM of a cat that's infested with worms, and it's just the worms are just kind of crawling out of its ass, and it's absolutely horrifying. It's one of the few things that I've seen that actually makes me like. It really makes you like you can't shake the disgust. It's just worms. Something about parasites. It doesn't sit well with me. The idea of some creature living inside of you and it just crawls out your ass. I don't know, but it was really gross. I prefer that wasn't posted anymore personally. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this other story too. Oh my goodness. There was some Anon that bought calls. I guess I'm not going to go into that because I don't remember what calls he bought, but he had bought calls. I think he had YOLO'd, and he was doing very well for himself. And then he sold those calls and then bought another position, and then lost about like all the money. I'm sorry if it escaped me. I don't know why I didn't put it in my notes. But guys, always remember, take profits. When you're buying stocks and you're buying call. If you take profits on something, give yourself a day or two to just settle yourself. You don't have to sell and then immediately go into the next degenerate move. Just give yourself a day or two and just sit tight and watch the markets and see if any kind of trends pick up or something. I've made that mistake many, many times in the past, where I'd be on that high of gambling on options. I'd be on that high and next thing. Give yourself a little bit of time. Nobody lost money doing nothing, okay? Well, I guess nobody made money that way either, but nobody lost money just keeping cash. So relax on that. For those of you that don't know, I thought what I had was a dream. I thought I had a dream where I was abducted by aliens. Well, not abducted, I met an alien. I met an alien in the woods, and it was a child alien. And the alien took me back to its mother, and it was very scary, but they wore human disguises. which put me a little bit at ease. But I met the mother alien in her spaceship, and she informed me that the aliens at her home planet intended to destroy humanity on Earth. We are a cancer. We are a plague. You must go, is what the alien said. Now, I thought this was a dream. As I talked myself through it, I said, no, I actually met aliens. I actually met aliens. And it's a good thing that I met them and not you. Because as I met these aliens, and they were talking of destroying mankind, okay, because of the plague that we are, I explained to the alien that not all of us are like this. There are some based lads. There are people who are actually good people that are not hell-bent on destruction that are out there, and that a lot of us are good. And, the alien at the time said, okay, I will think about this. I'm not going to destroy your planet or your humanity immediately. I'm going to give you guys time. So, and then I woke up, and obviously they used some sort of amnesia device, Men in Black, the thing, But I vaguely remembered, much like other alien abduction stories where you hear they vaguely remember what happened, but the entire process is very foggy. The entire situation is very foggy. So I think it's safe to say that I may have saved the human race, and I think I deserve at least a thank you for that. At the very least, maybe a couple $1,000s in my Cash App wouldn't be a problem. I'd be satisfied with $20,000 at this point for saving the human race. So just something to think about. Remember who that people like me saved you at the end of the day, and I just think that maybe I should get a little recognition about that. But I don't want to get too deep into saving humanity and being a hero and being an amazing trader and just being a generally a wonderful human being. I'm a pretty humble guy. I don't like to talk on that stuff a lot. I kind of leave that. Humble pie is what I call it. I keep it aside. But that being said, it was it was a short week. There wasn't a whole lot going on. This wasn't that exciting of a week because we had a holiday week. Friday markets were closed. So. With that being said, I just want to say Happy Easter from my beautiful wife, Miko, from me, and my two wonderful children that are not black. And hopefully you guys got to spend some time with your family, have a nice meal. But if not, you are here with me, and you got to spend the day with me, or at least 22 minutes of it. So until next week when I bring back the legal pad, we'll see you then.